What up, boys, and welcome back to yet another video. So in today's Season of Discovery video, we have a lot of really cool things that's been data mined on Phase 3 Season of Discovery. And basically, they've been able to better data mine the loot sources of a lot of items. Also, there's a lot of items that's being changed in Phase 3, different from what they originally are in Classic WoW. So that's what we're going to look at. First of all, though, I want to say a big thank you to every single one of you guys for the support on the complete gold guide for Season of Discovery. Recently, I also sent out completely for free the updated version featuring the best ways to make gold in Phase 3. So if you already have the gold guide, that should be in your email. And if you don't, you can get the complete gold guide by clicking the link down below in the description. But just know that every time there's new content added to Season of Discovery, I'm going to update the gold guide completely for free, and I'll just send you the updated version automatically to your email. Now, the first thing that I want to look at, and what I consider to be the coolest thing, is changes coming to items that's already in the game, right? So you have a spoiler alert, but if you clicked on this video, you probably want to see what's new, right? So first of all, you guys probably remember from Phase 2, where Blizzard went into specific dungeons and then they like increased the stats of items and sometimes changed the stats around on items. And that is because with the level up rates such as BFD and Nomer, we're running around with way better gear than what you would normally have in Classic. So a lot of items are just pointless. They're really bad in Season of Discovery because you got these raid items now. So in order to get people to run dungeons and actually get like upgradable items in dungeons, Blizzard has made a lot of dungeon drops just better overall. So there's a list of those items in this thread right here on Wowhead of what has been data mined, and a lot of it is looking interesting. So for instance, you have a Sulfuric loot where you can see the different items, like what it used to be and what it looks like now. And there's also this thingy on the right side of the screen, like showing the actual changes to the item if you don't want to like look at all the stats of the items. So you have stuff like these gloves. This is something we saw a lot of in Phase 2 as well, where the spirit is being removed and it's being replaced by spell power, because there's a lot of spell power. Well, there's not a lot of spell power items in the old dungeons. Same thing with this offhand right here. It removed the spirit, but added spell damage instead. These shoulders, nobody wants spirit. It's agility instead, making them way better. This dagger, Gasrilla's Fang, has increased its DPS as well. And it was made into a blue weapon now. Not that the color of the weapon or the rarity really means anything, but it has more DPS, making it probably on par with other rare items in that level bracket. Same thing with this horrible chest with 23 spirit and 10 stam. Now a strength, agility, stam, and int. And the list just keeps on going on in like in Sulfuric. Then you also have Uldaman, where we have a lot of items that's just way better now. So you have something like this polearm, not a huge upgrade, some might say, but the attack speed on it actually makes a big difference. You also have this cloth chest. Instead of giving 20 spirit, it now only gives 10 spirit, but also 19 spell power. You got Moradon, which this horrible MP5 dagger now actually has spell damage on it instead. And then you also have something like the shield right here, which normally nobody would really use this shield. It's really bad with the MP5, at least now it is an SOD, but now it actually has spell damage and healing increased on it as well. And then you also have, like the list goes on, these boots, instead of nature, resistance, and spirit, it has int and nature resistance plus spell damage. This gun right here, instead of a horrible 1.7 attack speed, which like nobody's going to use unless you want to pull mobs quickly if you play like a rogue or a war. But for a hunter specifically, really bad weapon, but now it has a 3.0 attack speed, making it way better. And then you also have this necklace, healing necklace, really good. Like headpieces with spell damage is always great. Just like overall, great loot from Moradon compared to what we used to have. And then we also have this one right here, which is a feral weapon from a dungeon. Instead of this horrible mace right here, it's now made into a feral weapon. BRD, I was kind of surprised to see that, but BRD, like some of the items dropping, like BRD is such a big dungeon where it's super low level at the early part of BRD and it goes all the way up to like level 60-ish towards the end. But the first bosses in BRD, like the loot, has also changed in BRD, so that's pretty cool. This offhand is actually not bad at all because it has a hit chance and also spell damage. So if you're lacking hit, it's really big. And then you have Sunken Temple. I mean, obviously that's going to be the raid, but there's some changes to Sunken Temple gear as well, where you have like massive changes, like these legs, 27 spirit, now 35 increased healing done. Not bad at all. So a lot of interesting things there. They even upped this trinket right here, which in the past it would only do like this poison AoE damage on a 15-minute cooldown. That's been reduced to 10 minutes, and it also gives stam and nature resistance as well. But it doesn't stop there. We've also seen data mined like the new faction, the Emerald Wardens. So that's like the new event thingy, the PvE event that they got going on that you can also level with. And we used to know the items that you could get. That was already data mined, but we didn't know at which reputation you could get the different items. So now it's been data mined that at friendly, you will get the set shoulders, gloves, boots, and you would also get the Nightmare Siphon, which I think is great, like this trinket. Every time you kill a mob that yields XP or honor, you get 150 HP and mana. Might not seem like a lot, but when you're doing like this hyper spawn gold farming, getting 150 mana and HP every 10 seconds when you kill a mob is actually going to add up. You also have this one to pair up with it, which every time you kill a target that yields XP or honor, you're going to get 40 spell power. So that's not bad at all. That, once again, also every 10 seconds, but that doesn't really matter because most mobs will be killed around the 10-second mark, depending on what class you play. But if you play, let's say, me, for instance, which I'm going to do this on my Shadow Priest, and if I dot up a lot of mobs, they're probably going to die like 7 to 10 seconds in between each other. So really, really cool trinkets. Can't wait to try them out. Other than that, at Honored, you can get the legs, the chest, and the helmet. You can also get Catnip, which is a Druid-only item that increases your attack speed by 50% for 30 seconds. And the reason why this was implemented is because they didn't want Druids to have to weapon swap. Like, everyone would used to have the Pummel Mace from Nomer because it did exactly this, increase your attack power by 50% for 30 seconds. So people would use that on cooldown, and then they would swap weapons and all of that. So instead of having to do that, you could just run around with whatever weapon you want to and use the Catnip. And then you also get the Emerald Ring. At Revered, you get Druid Weapon, chest pieces with the sleep effect. At Exalted, you get Epic Trinkets and Ring. And I'm going to leave the link to this in the description if you guys want to check out like every single item on this. But I think it's interesting to show the big boy drops at the bottom, like the trinkets, for instance. You have this one giving you 10 stam, increase your melee and range attack power by 70, 5-minute cooldown, not bad. The crystal resonates in response to the nightmare, no clue what that does. And then there's the epic ring. Your harmful spells have a chance to increase your spell power by 66 for 10 seconds with a 5% proc chance, not bad at all. And then you have this trinket, invoke the power of the dream, lasting for 15 seconds. While standing in this circle, the caster gain 120 healing power. And that's not all, that was data mined. Like in Sunken Temple, we have raid set bonus changes, right? So you can take a look at all the different changes of the set bonus of your class, if that's something that you care about. There's a couple of interesting ones, and that was changed for the better, making it cooler to have like the actual set bonus. There was even item tuning in Phase 3 as well, where you can see a lot of stat changes, like the Druid weapon from the PvP event, for instance, had its item level increased, stam increased, DPS increased, and also the attack power. And same thing with like this version of it, the staff. But a lot of interesting item changes, which I'm also going to leave down below, but mainly for Druids though. So That's pretty much it of what was data mined this patch around. So I'm going to keep you guys posted if there's anything new coming up in these couple of days before Phase 3 releases. But just make sure that you are subscribed to my YouTube channel, because that way you'll be notified whenever I upload another video. And as I said leading into the video, feel free to check out the complete gold guide for Season of Discovery, featuring all the best tactics and methods to make gold in Season of Discovery. With that being said though, appreciate you guys watching the videos. As always, thanks for watching, and I will see you all back in at tomorrow's video. But until then, bye-bye.